it's hard to really go against Boots because on that one was specifically Xander. You know, I feel Xander's still young. You know, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more experience.
Man, it's a tough fight, man. I got Boots. I just think that he's ultra talented. However, I mean, Xander could surprise him, man. You know, look, I expect the best Boots version of himself. I expect the best Xander. Boots got more pop on his shot. Boots is, I think, he's more talented out of the two.
In this case, Xander Zayas is the more controlled fighter in the sense that he has a regimented account for what he wants this fight to look like and how to get to where he's trying to go to, opposed to Boots, right?
Oh, Boots gonna take him out. Boots gonna do this. Man, y'all don't know Xander. Like, you know what I mean? Like Xander's like that. He's gonna fight his butt off. And if I don't know Boots either, so I'm sorry if Boots, you're a cool dude or whatever. But like Xander's my guy, and so I'm gonna rock with my guy through and through. And not just because he's my guy, but because he's a great fighter and a world champ.
Boxing experts are now breaking down a potential showdown between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, and one word keeps dominating the conversation: overrated. That label alone has made this matchup feel much more personal before the fighters have even shared the ring.
Xander fan, and I think Xander's gonna win. I think people are underestimating Xander so much. It's insane to me. Like, people are all like, oh, like, Xander's not ready for Boots. This isn't, you know, oh, Boots is gonna wash him out. Boots is gonna do this. Boots is gonna do that. Xander's a world champ, a multiple belt.
Richard Torres knows Xander Zayas personally. He has followed his rise from the beginning and genuinely believes many people are underestimating what Xander is capable of doing inside the ring. But beyond their friendship, Torres believes this fight is really about styles and how those styles could create a much more competitive contest than many fans expect.
And he's showcased who he is time and time again. I think people are just like washing him out or like overlooking him because he's so young. But I'm giving it to Xander. I think Xander's his boxing ability, his ring IQ, his presence, his just stature. I think it's gonna be tough for anybody to beat him. And so I'm excited for this fight. And I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. But my money's on
Robert Garcia also gave a very balanced assessment of the matchup, and that's exactly what makes his opinion stand out. He isn't simply buying into all the hype surrounding Jaron Ennis, but he also isn't overlooking everything Xander Zayas brings to the table. In his eyes, this is the type of fight where talent, size, confidence, timing, and ring IQ will all play major roles. Jaron Ennis enters with the bigger reputation and the more explosive style, but Xander Zayas steps into this opportunity with absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's why Robert's analysis makes the fight even more intriguing, because he believes both men present real dangers before the opening bell even rings.
Stepping in, you know, gotta respect that kid, you know, for being 23 and taking those challenges. You gotta respect that, you know. My pick, I would probably say, goes to Boots because talent-wise. But, you know, Xander's positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him and he's very confident, very positive. So definitely gave him a shot, man. You know, Boots has never been in that division for long. You know, only one fight in one round. So it could make a big difference. Xander's a big boy, man. Xander's a big boy that might be looking to moving up to 160, you know, in the near future. So it's gonna.
The discussion then shifts toward the biggest risk surrounding Xander Zayas. The question isn't whether he has talent, because everyone already knows he can fight. Instead, the real concern is whether this opportunity has arrived too soon, especially against someone like Jaron Ennis, who enters the 154-pound division carrying tremendous speed, power, and confidence. At the same time, that's exactly what makes this matchup so fascinating. Xander is young, ambitious, and already carries himself like he belongs on boxing's biggest stage. So when Robert Garcia discusses Zayas' age and the move in weight, he's really explaining why this fight is far more complicated than many people assume.
Stated you pick Boots, though, if you were to give somebody the edge. Some of the people that I've already spoken to and asked about the fight think that Xander, and you brought it up, his age, 23, might be a little bit too young for this big of a fight, considering a lot of people have actually compared it to Vargas when he fought Trinidad. Do you see any comparison in that?
Look, it is. You could compare that, you know. But look, let me see what I could probably make, you know, maybe a little bit of giving Boots more chance. I mean, giving Xander more chance, because look, Xander is already a champion that's already a unified champion, so his confidence is up. Boots is the one moving up in weight to fight at 150.
Meanwhile, Sean Porter looked at the matchup from a completely different perspective, adding another layer to the debate. For Porter, this isn't simply about power or physical size at 154 pounds. It's also about the mentality each fighter brings into the ring. Jaron Ennis possesses so much natural talent that he can often create opportunities purely through his speed, rhythm, and creativity. Xander Zayas, however, comes across as the type of fighter who will arrive with a detailed game plan and stick to it with discipline throughout every round. That contrast is what makes this fight so difficult to predict, because one fighter may rely on extraordinary natural ability, while the other depends on structure, patience, and flawless execution.
I feel as if Boots is the kind of fighter that has so many tools and so many things that he's capable of doing. I think he knows how fast he is. He knows how quick he is. He knows how powerful he is. And it's a matter of him saying, man, this is going to work. That's going to work. This going to work. That's going to work. Opposed to a Xander Zayas, and I know that I'm not wrong about this, Xander's going to come to the ring with, this is what we need. And if this isn't working, this is where we're going to go to. And then if this isn't working, we're going to try to figure it out from there. You know, I think that Xander's coming in with what I would consider to be a solid game plan, while I will look at Boots thinking that talent coming to the ring, and if you hold that talent, you know what's going to happen then. You know, so that's what I'm looking at in this fight. I still think it's, in some ways, it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm inclined to go with the talent, because that talent is undeniable. It's just that talent. It's just that talent.
Tim Bradley also offered an opinion that makes this matchup feel even more dangerous, because he isn't viewing it as a simple showcase for Jaron Ennis. He fully recognizes Boots' talent, power, and understands why he's considered the favorite. However, he refuses to dismiss Xander Zayas as though he has no chance. That's what makes this matchup so compelling. Both fighters still have important questions to answer. Both are stepping into a much bigger moment in the 154-pound division, and both have something significant to prove. Jaron Ennis wants to show his power and overall skill have carried over to the new weight class, while Xander Zayas wants to prove he isn't simply a promising young prospect being thrown into the deep end. Bradley's breakdown makes it clear this has every chance of becoming a genuine fight from the opening rounds.
Boots do have some, Boots does have some hope, but so does Xander, man. I mean, look, I think it's gonna boil down to who wants it most. To be honest with you, who wants it most? It's gonna be a dogfight, man. Xander don't mind going toe to toe if he needs to. I know he's gonna probably try to box, but Boots is coming to get his ass, bro. He's coming to prove a point, and we should get a hell of a fight from that, bro.
Do you think experience might be the ultimate factor here? Because I know you said Boots just got to the division, but he's got more fights under his belt, and also Xander is younger.
Yeah, I think experience could be a factor here, but I mean, Boots ain't used to going 12 rounds. Boots ain't used to going 12 rounds either. I mean, usually he's knocking these dudes out before he goes 12 rounds, and then when you look at the competition that he's faced, it's been, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing been popping out like, crazy. Xander, you can say the same thing about Xander too. I think it's the perfect matchup right now for both.
Greg Hackett also brought an interesting perspective to the Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas discussion, especially after Boots was seen working alongside Demetrius Andrade in training. Many fans immediately connected those sparring sessions directly to preparing for Xander, but Greg believes there's much more to it than that.
And Boots is fighting on June 27th against Xander Zayas. What was your thoughts when you first seen him?
I mean, Boo bring that. What Boo bring to the situation: size, experience, awkwardness. I can imagine him being a little slippery at times. I mean, maybe not the entire time, but I can imagine being a little slippery at times. Trying to counter. I can see Boo trying to counter Boots. I don't know. I think that's definitely good work, though, especially because Boo Boo got a fight coming up. It's not like he just regular every day. I mean, it's him training and all that, so it should have been good. I hope.
According to Greg, elite level sparring isn't always about finding someone who perfectly copies your next opponent. More often, it's about sharpening your reactions, adapting to different styles, and preparing your mind for every possible situation that could unfold under the bright lights on fight night.
All right, some fighters, you got to have them spar specifically for the fight. Some fighters, they just need to get ready. Boots is the kind of guy that just need to get ready. That's why he sparred Boots. It's not about what side he fighting. It's about being ready for anything that night. Because the situation that Xander is in, you gonna have to show me what you are right now. Same for Boots. But you gonna have to really show me right now. Because Boots, I can see it. That's the thing with Boots. I can see what you do, but can you do that? And then with Xander, it's like, I ain't never really seen that out of you, though. I seen you do that to guys you supposed to, but this is a match. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think when you spar Boo Boo and you get ready for Xander, it's good because you get work.
At the end of the day, this matchup isn't simply about championship belts or which fighter appears better on paper. It's about discovering who can truly prove their level when they're standing across from an opponent determined to expose every weakness instead of making them look good.
I think partially no, because Xander doesn't have that resume, but neither does Boots. You know, neither one of them has the opportunity to fight a current really, really good champion.
I don't want to discredit Boots' win over Stanionis, because Stanionis was a champion who was unbeaten.
I think the public made it a 50-50 fight when it should have never been called a 50-50 fight.
But because Boots is that talented.
No, and I think Xander's talented as well. I think, and they're beating their opponents, but I just think they, like I said, they haven't had a chance to fight one. Right, that's all. But Boots is the one that's already, people want to put him on a pound-for-pound list.
For Jaron Ennis in particular, this fight could become a defining moment. A dominant performance may finally earn him the pound-for-pound recognition many believe he deserves. But if he fails to impress, the critics will likely continue saying he still needs one more signature victory over a major opponent.
You already know level. Boo illustration.
What?
You know what I said? What?
Say what?
You know what I said? Boo illustration. Stretching him.
Stretching?
Lights out.
A stretch?
You see, hey, I haven't seen Xander. I don't know if I think he even get thinking about it. I said, how is it?
How do you look? How you looking? How you looking?
But the opponent soft. Come on, man.
So
what?
So you're telling me that the opponents that Boots have are solid?
I ain't say either. But I know one thing I see talent. I know talent.
Okay.
All right.
You're talking the eye test.
And look, there's talent right there.
Okay.
I'm telling you, but you like I said.
Make sure to check out our other videos on the screen.